Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ask Lukenessmonster, episode 37, the series on the channel where I answer your guys' questions from the comments down below. So if you guys do want your questions answered in next week's video, comment down below on this week and I'll try my very best to answer it. And if you would, go down and hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, because it does really help me out a lot. And yeah, we are aiming for 2K subs on the channel. I believe we just hit like 1.6K, so we're almost there, and it'd just be very greatly appreciated. The first question from Hamish asks, great video as always, thank you, I do really appreciate that. Question, do you think Hasbro should ship out cases of 6-inch waves and 3 3/4-inch action figures to Target and Walmarts like they used to be? So, I think 100% they need to do that. I mean, I remember back in the day going down that, like, they would have an entire aisle just dedicated to Star Wars stuff. Like, top to bottom, it'd be stocked full of Star Wars stuff. And I miss those days. I literally walk into Walmart and I don't even know if they're going to have a Star Wars section to begin with. I know I went to a Walmart, like, what, 2 or 3 days ago, and they didn't even have a Star Wars section. Like, normally they have a section, but there's just nothing in stock. But they didn't even have a section this time, and it was super disappointing. And I've seen that in several different Walmarts and Targets, so, like, I really hope they go back to the way it used to be, just fully stocked stuff, and I think that has to do with just Hasbro needing to stock their shelves better. I'm lucky enough to go into any store and find a single Black Series figure, let alone a fully stocked shelf and stuff, so. I do have a theory on this. I don't think it's correct, but I do have a theory, and some of these retail stores aren't buying as many, like, cases of these newer figures, because I see some of these, like, peg-warming figures like a Ceremony Luke or Zori Bliss stay on their shelves for like months at a time, and they're like, well, if people aren't buying these figures, we're not going to buy as many, so they buy less stock in that. And so then whenever we're just getting less stocked shelves, and that's kind of what happened to the Star Wars section, because you saw those like 3 3/4-inch Force Link figures on shelves forever, and I think that's just kind of what happened. Not a lot of people wanted those new trilogy figures, and they just stayed on shelves for so long that retail stores stopped buying as many waves of them, meaning that now in 2021 we're just getting a very poorly stocked Walmarts and Targets. Darth Golden Freddy asks, when do you think we will get an announcement for the Mandalorian Boba Fett figure? I believe it's only a matter of when, and not because he's such a popular character. So I think what he's trying to say is it's not a matter of what, but when. I think, yeah, they're definitely going to make it. It's just when are they going to announce it? And I think there might be a decent chance for it on the Fan First Friday live stream coming up, like the Hasbro Fest or whatever, coming up, I believe April 9th, which is this Friday. I don't think it's going to be announced there. I think, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I think if they're going to make a new Boba Fett figure, it's going to be on the, like for the Book of Boba packaging and everything. It's not going to be a Mandalorian Boba Fett. It's going to be a Book of Boba action figure, and if we are going to get that, I don't think that'll be until like very late 2021, early 2022 if we are going to get that. So that'd be my guess. One of the hardest questions I've ever gotten from Naomi, they ask, would you rather have an Sdcc Boba Fett or the Sideshow collectible 5s? So if you guys watch the channel, you guys know that I've been really wanting the Black Series Kenner Boba Fett forever, and it's just so expensive. It's like $200 to $300 on the aftermarket, and it's just insanely expensive. And I know you guys know I'm also a massive 5s fans, and I haven't actually stated it a whole lot, but I've been dying to get the Sideshow 5s. But again, it's like $600-700. It's so expensive, and I wish I would have known about like the Sideshow 5s back when it actually came out. I just wasn't really collecting figures back then a whole lot. I mean, it was more the 3 3/4-inch figures though. But yeah, it's just, I don't know which one I'd pick, honestly. I'm as you can tell, I'm avid Black Series collector. I base my entire channel around Black Series, so I think Kenner Boba Fett would be amazing. But I do have to say, I've never owned a Sideshow or a Hot Toys figure, and that'd be a really cool figure to start off with, because 5s is my favorite. And if they ever make a remake 5s for that, or Hot Toys makes a 5s, I will 100% buy it. Another really good question from Nicholas. He asks, if you were in charge of Hasbro, what would you want to do for Black Series? Re-releases, new figures, something else? So something I've always just really thought of when coming to this is I would definitely re-release popular figures, and I'd listen to what the community wants. And I know this sounds very like stereotypical, like, oh, Hasbro, you're doing a bad job. I think Hasbro's doing a great job. They're releasing a lot of figures a year, and they're releasing some really good ones. But there's some figures that I think we really really need. I think Fives and Echo are huge characters, and we need to get them in ARC Trooper form in the Black Series. I think another really cool thing that they could do is definitely like start re-releasing some of these older figures. We do have the Galaxy packaging now, and I don't think there's any reason why any old figure we've already gotten shouldn't be re-released in that new packaging. I think it just needs to happen. Like I think eventually a Count Dooku, a Jango Fett, a what's any Attack of the Clones figure needs to be re-released in the Galaxy packaging for Attack of the Clones. Any like Return of the Jedi figure, like you get the Slave Leia or the Bounty Hunter Leia or Skiff Guard Lando, all those need to be re-released in that Return of the Jedi packaging, and I hope they do that. But so far, we have not gotten a re-release in that new packaging. So I really hope they do that. Actually, no, I did lie. We do have the Rebels wave, which is all re-releases in that new packaging, except for Zeb. But other than that, like that's not an entire wave of a re-release. We haven't gotten a straight-up re-release in that new packaging yet. So it's something I really hope they would do, and that's what I would do if I was in charge. But like, come on, you can't have a Revenge of the Sith wave without a Revenge of the Sith Anakin or Obi-Wan. But ideally, I would hope they do like brand new molds for those. Maybe do like a brand new mold for Anakin Obi-Wan and then release it. I'd be fine with that. But I mean, I think if they're not gonna remake the mold completely, they do have to re-release it. Jay Prasad asks, "Who is the most famous person you've ever met? Any people from the Star Wars universe?" So unfortunately, I have not met anybody from the Star Wars universe, only because I just haven't really gone to any conventions. I really wanted to go to Celebration 2019 in Chicago, but I actually did get tickets to that, but the weather was just so awful that day that I was driving. I just couldn't drive up in that weather. I was sliding all over the road. So unfortunately, I couldn't go to that. I really want to go to another like celebration, but with COVID and them probably not going anywhere near where I live anymore. Like California would be nice to go to, but it's nowhere near where I live. So I'd have to be like somewhere near where I live for me to actually go to that. But honestly, San Diego Comic Con would be something I really love to go to as well. But again, it's in San Diego, so I mean, yeah. But the most famous person I've ever met is probably I went to Steelers training camp a few years ago, and I met their center Pouncey, so I did get his signature. It's probably the most famous person I've ever met. Lightning asks, "If you have ever made a custom, what style paint and paint protection did you use? I use oil paint on mine, and it's really sticky now." So I've only ever made one custom, and it was a custom 3 3/4 inch fives I made, and I just spray painted it. It looks pretty bad, and I definitely have the problem of it leaving fingerprints in it. Like I'll touch it, I'll pick it up, and it'll leave the fingerprint in the paint. Maybe because I used too much paint. Definitely a reasonable idea, but I don't know. I haven't used a lot of customization yet, so I definitely would look up some tutorials if I were you. But I don't do a lot of customization. That's the only time I ever did it, and it came out pretty bad with the paint there. So don't use spray paint, but like if you do, don't overdo it. I think less is more. Nicholas asks, "What is your favorite Star Wars Black Series helmet?" So I do own quite a few. I do own the Darth Vader, Poe Dameron. Then I also own the Shadow Stormtrooper, Normal Stormtrooper, and the Shock Trooper. And those are all the Black Series helmets that I own. And all of those are great. I definitely have like the three Stormtroopers on display, kind of with that Battlefront 1 vibe going. But I gotta say, a very underrated helmet is the Darth Vader helmet. It's very accurate, and it has so many different cool pieces. It's all attached with magnets. You can like take off the helmet. It comes off in like 3 different parts, with the top dome part, then the front piece, and then like the neck piece too. So many different parts with that. I would highly suggest that, and it's super underrated. So AGC asks, "Would you like to see something like a dual pack with like Anakin and Obi-Wan on the droids with swappable hands and heads? Also a deluxe Rebels Maul with a removable soft hood shirt and hood so he can look like when you first see him in Rebels, some swappable hands and heads, and a piece to make it look like a saber has a cane." So some great ideas there. I think a deluxe Rebels Maul would be really cool. I think there's a lot of stuff you could do with that. But I think a dual packs would be really, really cool. Something they could definitely do. I'm surprised they haven't actually done this, though. It's really weird. I think, like, you could kind of do, like, environmental bases. Like, you see these 3 boxes back here. All 3 of those have those environmental bases. Or basically just fancy display stands. And I love those. Some of the best stuff we've gotten in the Black Series. While it is very underrated, I think they're really, really cool. And I think it's something we could do. Get, like, a dual pack. Get, like, an Anakin Obi-Wan. And they have their, like, droids as their stands. Or maybe get a say, I don't know, a Obi-Wan and Maul. I don't know what display stand, something. I don't care. Just a random floor would be pretty cool. Any stand would be cool with that, and I think it's a great pack. I say you charge $50, 2 figures and 2 stands. I think it's a great price for something like that, and I think it definitely sell very, very well. But there's so many different options. You could do Rey, Kylo Ren from literally all 3 of those movies. You could do a Luke Vader. You could do a I don't know, Anakin Dooku. There's so many different ones you could do, and I'd love to see it in the future. Ben asks, do you think Hasbro would ever make a back-to-tank Darth Vader figure? No, I don't think so. I think that if it wouldn't really be a figure, it'd just be a piece of plastic in a tube. I don't know. I mean, unless, like, I feel like you got to put it in the tube for it really to be back to tank Vader, and I think if you don't include the back to tank itself, then it's just a limbless Vader, and I think that they're not going to sell that because Disney owns Star Wars now. Something that Lucasfilm might have done back in the day whenever Disney didn't own it, but Disney owns it now, and they actually have rules in what they can make, and I just think that they're like, of course, the Black Series is mainly for collectors. Kids still do buy it, and they're not gonna make a limbless, burnt up, scarred figure. Like, I know I got this question with them doing like a burnt up Anakin on Mustafar. Like, no, it's just not gonna happen. Ed asks, do you think I should overpay on Amazon to get a figure shipped early? So, great question. I know I definitely feel that pain wanting to get a figure early, but I honestly, I gotta say, don't buy anything off Amazon unless if it's on sale. I always see like people paying, like, just overpaying for stuff on Amazon, and they think it's like, well, if it's on Amazon, it must be a retail price, but it's really just a third-party seller selling through Amazon. And I say if it's like selling from Amazon itself on Prime or whatever, go ahead and get it. But if it's through a third-party seller, they're gonna overcharge for it. There's so much stuff that's just way too expensive on there, and you could easily find it in stock somewhere else. So, but overpaying on Amazon to get it shipped early, that's a different story. I think that you just gotta be patient. Patience is a virtue, and I know I sound like a mom there, but it's true. I think it's gonna get you either way, and I would personally wait just because, I mean, a few bucks is a few bucks here and there, but also I guess it just depends how bad you want the figure. If you really, really want the figure, I'd say go for it. I mean, if you're willing to pay a few extra bucks to get it early, go ahead. But if you don't want to pay a few more dollars for it, I'd say go ahead and wait. And honestly, it's really up to you though, whatever you prefer. So I did actually have a comment bring up my attention. On the comment, it is from Nicholas, and they say, on the Star Wars Black Series website, there is a sold-out pre-order for ARC Trooper Echo, which is set up for November, but I didn't see any news channel talk about it so far. Why is that? So he did send me the actual link to this website, and it's not real. It's I don't know if it's some third-party seller making the customs or if it's a scam, but it's not real. Hasbro is not officially making this. The website is not in English. I don't know what it says or what it even is. It doesn't even show a picture of a figure. It just shows some gibberish on like a title scroll there. So it's not real. Don't buy from this website. And if there is any like official figure from Hasbro, I'll definitely cover it on my channel. But this is not an official figure. So anyway, guys, that is gonna do it for the video. If you did enjoy, the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And also, if you do want your questions answered in next week's video, again, comment down below in this week's video, and I'll try my very best to answer it. And also, if you guys are a new member to the channel, I do have a Discord, so that is linked in the description if you do want to go join that Discord. I highly suggest it, so go join the Discord if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video.